Good morning, brothers and sisters, friends, light workers, starseeds. The energy is very high. I thought I'd come live just for the free flow of the energy that's coming in at this time from the galaxy. I have Horus with me at this time and my team of guides. So I thought I'd come live in connection and unification with my higher self. And I'm just going to channel a lot of the energy that's coming through, information that's coming through, certainly from the galaxies, the energy that's coming in from the galaxy as I'm receiving it. Because I've been working a lot with the free flow of energy. So for many of you who have not seen my live, just sit in the presence, just to receive the energy and flow that's coming through. So I'm just now sitting here to connect now with the energy and light, just to bring forth an array of activations coming in. First and foremost, I ask you all just to sit in your space to connect with your hearts. And as we're connecting with our hearts now, we connect with the Christed light within, receiving the codes of 144 and 144,000 cosmic ray energy that's coming in now from the great central sun and the great central suns of this system of worlds, as we are now connecting with the goddess energy coming through this transmission of light. We are now bringing forth a ray of divine energy to activate, to help us to ascend, to help us to take us to the next steps of enlightenment. We connect with this divine energy, the Mahatma, the Chi, the Pranic, the Sun and the Moon energy, as we are bringing forth this divine ray of light and love to the earth. As we're now connecting with this beautiful energy and light, we facilitate the healing, the love, the light, harmonization frequencies, connecting with divine light, divine rays coming through from the great central sun. We connect with the templates of the earth all the way around, and as we connect with the templates of the earth, we facilitate this divine healing, the divine light, divine love. We are now shifting this beautiful planet into a higher frequency of light and love. I come to you today, dear ones, with great simplicity. I do not speak of words that is of misunderstanding, because simplicity is the key of the heart. Purity, love, simplicity is what we embrace as we connect with humanity. As we connect with the flow of this divine love, energy and light, we connect with the hearts of the people, connect with humanity, to the hearts. So simplicity is the key. Speaking words of technical jargon and so forth to the hearts of the people will not resonate. Simplicity of heart is the key. So we connect with the templates, we connect with the hearts of the people. We help to shift wounds, we help to shift the anguish, we help to shift what is no longer serving. So connect to the hearts, connect to the heart space. I want to connect with the United States at this time. United States. There is much polarity taking place within the United States at this time. And I want to send this beautiful bubble of light and love to the United States. Many states are being afflicted by extreme weather conditions at this time. And again, this will subside. Again, I want to connect with the souls of the United States to bring forth a greater sense of harmonization. Unification, love, and harmony is a key. I want to send healing to the templates of France. We are working with the French at this time to shift ancient wounds. There has been an awful lot of ancient wounds in time and space connecting to France. We are working with France at this time to shift, to heal, to unify. Conflicts and afflictions and curses are now being released. As we connect, now I want to connect with the Middle East. As I'm connecting with the Middle East again, harmonization and love and light to be shifted, as we are now shifting this beautiful planet of love, light and healing into a higher frequency of light. I connect with a portal template of Iraq and Iran, and we're infiltrating the golden light to this area. This part of this planet has been afflicted. I'm now connecting with the serpent, connecting with Tibet and Peru, and bringing this divine light and energy. As we connect north and south, I connect with this divine portal, this divine energy and light. This beautiful serpent energy, the Kundalini of the earth, we're bringing forth a divine ray of light to this planet. So let's connect with this beautiful Kundalini that's connecting the Peru and Tibet, because these beautiful countries have been significant to the spirituality of this earth. And we connect now and we spin this Kundalini of light through the earth. And let's now connect with this beautiful energy within ourselves as we connect with this beautiful golden light energy, the Mahatma, source energy, source light energy. It comes in from the great central sun, the goddess energy, the 144,000 that is within each and every one of us. The codes that come through from source itself is within each and every human. The Christed code of 33, the universal code of 369, the universal keys. We connect with these divine codes. So bring forth this beautiful energy and light that's within us as we're connecting with the space of our hearts. I now connecting with the sun and moon. The sun and moon are very much at heart within this system of worlds, and we have a lot of moon energy within this system of worlds. And as I'm connecting with the moon, we have approximately 188 moons, and that doesn't even count the moon serving Pluto. We have an awful lot of moon energy, the moons within this system, that serves our planets. They serve our planets to sustain life force. And each planet has its own sense of degree. As we're connecting with other planets and moons and suns and other systems and galaxies, we connect with different life force, we connect with different energies, we connect with different degrees of dimensions and light. Many souls now are being equipped to make their connection to their light, to their destiny, to their home, and so forth. And many souls will have experiences to such sharp degrees. Many of us will have experiences in connecting with different systems. I want to talk a little bit about the Orion. The Orion is now shifting. The Orion has a large degree, has a number of nebulas within the Orion itself. The Orion also includes and incorporates Canis Major and Canis Minor. And within Canis Major we have Sirius. I'm now, as I've been receiving a lot of transmissions from the Orion, and the Orion sits at the heart of the Ascension program, and it has done through time and space. It is the Orion and Sirius that align with the pyramids within the earth, and certainly with the Egyptian pyramids and the one in Yucatan. These pyramids that have been established on the earth throughout the ancient times have received these significant alignments. There have been in history conflict within the galaxy, and the conflicts are now shifting and healing. As I'm connecting with the Orion, there has been a polarity program that has come through into the Ascension program, and many souls have been assigned with mastering the polarity shifts, and it's what you call the integration of polarity. And as we're integrating and shift in polarity, we come into a higher sense of consciousness. And as we come into a higher sense of consciousness, we then become aware that everything is energy. We become aware as we hit a higher light that there is no gender. There are no what you call laws in the higher light. The laws have been structured to serve the ones that are working in the lower spectrum of dimensions. So anything that comes in, so I'm now sitting what you call going above and beyond 12D. So you go beyond the 12D side, or because you go density and dimensions can be very different. So going beyond 12D, there are no universal laws. Universal laws are serving those up to 12D. So the universal laws is what happens when we come down into a lower dimension density frequency. So what we then do, we have to look at mastering these universal laws. So as we are ascending and growing and expanding, we become masters of these laws. So we have the universal law of karma, we have the universal law of attraction, abundance, and so forth. And the reason why I want to talk about the universal laws is because these universal laws get forgotten within our ascension plan. Many souls are sort of still being stuck at trying to work through government issues, financial schemes, and so forth. And this is not something that is part of the ascension plan. This is part of what you call matrix, is when we're sitting here looking at economy, we're looking at what's happening within the governments, politicians. Is this politician working for the light? Is this politician doing this? Is this politician doing that? Theoretically, when we're looking at politicians and we're looking at leaders and governments and so forth, technically the leaders of the nations technically have been called, because it's been planned prior to their incarnation, they have been called to serve a nation. How they serve the nation becomes something of their mastery. It's just like we all have a task to do. So I'm not going to be prejudging whether these leaders are light or dark, because that is not my remit. This is not my conversation. But what I'm saying to you, as we go into a higher light, we become aware that everybody has a calling, and it doesn't matter the origin, it doesn't matter anything like that, because when we work in a higher light, we're going up into source energy and we're going right into a higher spectrum. Every soul has an agreement. When we come down, we have an agreement, and we have an agreement where we're called to do certain services, certain lessons, and so forth. So everyone has a unique role to play. How that pans out is based on circumstance, based on our personal response to it, and about our mastery. So the more that we go up into higher light and frequency, we become more aware. We become more aware of what we're here to do. We're able to tap into the mastery. So we become masters in our own right. So again, how we respond to situations. There are two ways, as in the polarity side. We can go negative, we could go positive. So we get a situation, what do? If we work from the heart space, we embrace it with love. We embrace it with love. That means that we are transmuting that karmic situation. We are dissipating that karmic situation. We don't enter into negative karma. We're also understanding Dharma at a greater level. So the more that we embrace Dharma, and that's mastery again. Mastery, being able to transmute, to understand what is right, what's wrong, being the masters. Dharma is also aligned with laws of Mat and so forth. So we become more aware that we become masters, and I'm trying to put this into an expression. So what we are here to do as we go into higher light and the ascension program, we become masters in our own right. So we don't fall into the remit of negative karma. We're transmuting that. We become transmuting vehicles. So as we're doing that, we're also becoming masters of the attraction and the abundance and so forth. So what is abundance? Abundance comes in a variety of forms. It becomes spiritual. The fundamentals is spiritual. I see quite a lot of pictures of Lakshmi, who's a goddess of abundance. Lakshmi with loads of coins around her. It is not about monetary terms. The gold is about spiritual abundance. So when we go into spiritual abundance, the gold energy, the gold light, the Mahatma, we are going up into a higher frequency, higher light. This is where the spiritual abundance comes in. As we become more spiritually abundant and more spiritually aware, we become more satisfied, more happier within our lives. And then we become the conduits of attraction. So people then start becoming attracted to our light. And as people become attracted to our light, we're able to share this beautiful love and light. We're able to share, and we're able to work with humanity in areas of healing, in areas of growth, and so forth. So people become more attracted to our light, to our love. So as I want to connect up with the Orion, because the reason why I was just going up to the Orion, because I know I'm just going into the Orion. The Orion has been assigned with a polarity plan in this ascension, which I've been fully aware of. I'm also working in the polarity plan with my twin flame, and this is about the masculine feminine. Masculine feminine is a polarity plan. The rising up of the masculine feminine, the healing of the masculine feminine, and the unification of the masculine feminine, bringing that into a greater sense of oneness. So this forms part of a polarity plan. I'm working with my twin in all areas of polarity. I'm working with my twin in spirit, who stands and works with me, comes through in transfiguration. So there's a polarity of spirit and matter that is come into alignment. I'm also aware of his lower aspect on the earth, and he again is my polarity in areas of numerology, in areas of even height. The fact that me and my twin on the earth have one kidney removed, the right kidney has been removed, so we become mirrors like that. We have one set of kidneys. That basically, in the physical capacity, once we become healed and merged and stuff like that, the Kundalini will come between, because the kidneys form heart, as well as the heart and other organs become part of that merging. So yes, he is fully aware of who I am. I'm fully aware of who he is. We've been working akashically, doing an awful lot of akashic work. Yes, there's a lot of contracts. It's what Horus, the higher Horus, has come through and said, you've got difficult contracts in this lifetime, difficult contracts. So I've said to Horus, I said, that difficult contract, and I've said to the twin on the earth just recently, that difficult contract can become an easy contract, that as long as you work from the heart, a space of heart, humility, love, compassion, so forth. So basically, so this is what's actually happening. I'm 42.6, he's 24.6. 42, 24. Codes that have been aligned with the Orion and Jupiter, and the moon in Jupiter, Io, which is the most innermost moon to Jupiter, pertains the codes. I actually, which I've actually found out, 28, 42, certain codes within the IO, in terms of its distance, its linear, its movement around the planet and so forth. There are certain codes that are tied in with that moon, particular moon energy. This is actually assigned to the Sar and Sopdet of Sirius and the Orion, and again how it works in with the planets, the Earth, how it works with Jupiter, how it actually aligns also with the pyramids. So there's a lot of stuff that's working with that. Funnily enough, Io is assigned to the Zeus and Hera. Also, Io is comes from the High Priestess. The moons within the Jupiter have also been named after lovers of Zeus. Interesting. I've also been connecting with other moons as well, the moons of Saturn, and also which I've also known, the Saturn has moons. Each planet has moons. The only one that hasn't been assigned with a moon is Venus, because Venus is closest to the sun. And the reason why Venus is actually close to the sun, Venus is a conduit of light. This is where the looks comes from, the light, the love, and so forth. So basically Venus doesn't have a sun as such, a moon as such, because it works with the sun energy. It's primordial to the sun. So the Venusian, this is where the love, the light comes in. So there's a lot of stuff pertaining with the moon energy that's taking place. So many souls get connected to a specific moon. Certainly when they're working with in the goddess energy, they get assigned, they get a, well, you know, having an experience. I know, Rhea, you're watching, you've had a massive connection with Ganymede, and that Rhea's actually shared her beautiful experience with Ganymede, and the connection that Ganymede has with the Jupiter planet. So as I say, we are working. Certainly when we get some encodements coming in, we get a massive connection. Teleportation can become very abundant. I know when I had my teleportation, it wasn't, again, we can teleport into different timelines and so forth. And it can be at huge degrees. And I know Ria's had this massive experience, and yet I know Ria's listening to me now. So as we're having this teleportation, it can be quite huge at first. You're going, oh crap, what's just happened to me? I know very well that experience, and then it becomes regular, and it becomes a way of life. So, and it doesn't become as intense because our energy integrates into that energy and frequency. I often, I've often teleported, and I sometimes you have to try and master the art of controlling it. I can actually be teleporting consciously. I could be in that space 1 minute, and I'm like, like this. And I've actually been, when I've been working within this energy field, I can even be with a client and I'm off. I'm shifting, and it's like 1 minute I'm here, next minute I've gone into trance and I've shifted into another place. It's hard to put that into motion. So it can happen not just in sleep state. You can be conscious and next minute you're lost. I've actually been on a train and I've been on a bus and I've missed my stop because it's happened. The energy's and it's kind of what you call a form of trance. And sometimes you have to master control. It's happened to me when I've had a bath once. I've had this energy that's come over, and next minute, oh crap! I've shifted. I've often do teleportation to Egypt and to different places of the earth. I can do teleportation to different parts of the galaxy, to different timelines. I've actually done Akashic work in that particular time and space. You're looking at parallel lives as well, and so forth. It can be very intense. So I just wanted to kind of share, because I have, as I say, Ria, I know Ria's listening. Love your sister. So I know, this is something that can happen to a massive degree. You're just like shifting, and it can be very intense. So I just wanted to share a little bit about stuff that comes in, and as we are connecting with certain frequencies, certain energies, certain galaxies. I mean, I've been working with, been aware of a convergence of a triune of galaxies, certainly aware of the Andromedan convergence, but I'm also aware of Messier 33 convergence, which is the triangulum. The triangulum galaxy is very much, again, the Christ code, Messier 33, pyramid and spiral. So this is certain symbols coming in from that particular galaxy as well. So there's a convergence, a triune convergence taking place, but that takes time. It does take time. And there are certain stuff that's coming in from the Confederation of Planets. I'm fully aware that there is another planned meeting of the Confederation of Planets The Confederation of Planets works at a multi-universal capacity, not so much at a galactic, but at multi-universal capacity. Certainly, when I'm connecting with that, I'm connecting and aligning very much with the Ra energy. So it's certainly that is due to be taking place very soon. Because there is an awful lot of stuff that's happening, that's coming into this particular system from other universes and other galaxies. So there is a plan in motion. The central suns are working in alignment at the moment, so there's a massive energy vortex that's coming through from the 7th central sun right through into our central sun, coming into the galactic core, coming into this earth. This particular energy and light often manifests itself during cycles of ascension. We are in the middle of an ascension cycle of humanity. Many souls will have experienced an ascension in a capacity. I have gone through this in past lives, in different capacities where my soul has gone into an ascension span. And when you go into an ascension span, so technically what I've done in this particular life is I've connected up with aspects of my higher self, and this is something that I've done through the line of my Akashic record. So the more that I've connected with my Akashic record, I've done healing of timelines. I've not just connected with my Akashic record, I've done that of my divine masculine as well. So the more that you connect up within the line of your Akashic record, your Akashic history, and you're shifting certain parts of that energy, you do that when you're connecting with other souls as well. I've had a massive shift and alignment now with the French, where Horus and I was at the heart of the French Revolution. I've actually even felt the beheading. I went 36 hours where I felt a massive pressure on my neck. I was connecting with Louis and Marie Antoinette. It was kind of shocking, but I actually also connected with a couple of other souls that are within this. Thursday, I was with a lady, and I did not mention to her, and I haven't mentioned online about this experience because it's an energy that I'm trying to integrate, trying to align and integrate. I started going into tears. I was feeling pressure at the back of my neck where it's like, bing, like this. I was getting visions and so forth. I was also getting Freemasons. I was getting Catholics, Jews, Zionists, and the commoners. These are aspects. Now, as I've connected both with mine and Horus's Akashic line, I've done an awful lot of stuff going all the way down from Solomon, all the way down the Solomon's line. You've got the Solomon's line. I've gone straight through, working with the Boaz and Jeshim columns, having our codes down on these columns. So I was working within that. I've done this with my twin, both in the physical and spirit. So what I've done is I've connected because Horus is actually Solomon. He embeds Solomon. That's his lifetime. Now, I've done this, I've worked on the columns, I've brought in the energy, then that energy comes in to the Knight Templars. The Knight Templars. So Horus has had the incarnation of Hugh de Pienne and Jacques de Molay. Hugh de Pienne was the very first, he was the very first Knight Templar, and Jacques de Molay was the last Grand Master Knight Templar. So basically then that Templar energy comes in from that line of the Solomon. It comes in from that line. He was the first and last Grand Master Templar. That then energy gets fed through different the different orders of Templars, like St. John's of Hospitallers and stuff like that. It then starts going into Freemasonry. So Freemasonry then is harbouring this energy coming in from the ancient stuff. The ancients, it's coming in from the ancients. So basically all this energy is filtering through. And then we have timelines. Now, Jacques de Molay was killed by the Catholics. King Philip of France, again, France. Now, this is the Akashic record that I'm working in. This is not something that's shared by many souls. It's an Akashic record. Everyone has their own unique Akashic record. So when you're understanding Akashic record, this is where, you know, it's not like multiple souls have heard Jacques de Molay lifetime. It doesn't work like that. This is one soul inhibiting a body. So this is an Akashic record. So we're looking then. Now I've gone straight in, pulled that energy in, because Horus is showing himself through me different forms of his Akashic record. He's done that in trance, we've done it in circle, he's come through in different forms. He's also come in transfiguration, bang, 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 shifting and changing his form. So he's saying, this is who I am, this is who I've embodied. So basically what I've done is I've pulled in that energy. I've gone to Jacques de Molay. Now, the Jacques de Molay did the Friday the 13th curse because him and many other Templars burnt at the stake for things that they did not do. Because Philip of France owed them so much money, they was taking from the pot. They was taking funds from the knights. So basically, what you have is, I was pulling this energy in, taking in from the. I literally was feeling the flames. All of a sudden came in. I felt the flames. I was in altered state. I felt the flames. So then I knew. Then I had to shift. Funnily enough, in this particular lifetime, I have been brought up Christian. I'm London based I'm London, Hertfordshire based. I went through a phase in my younger years where I was in the church, but I was Anglo-Catholic, not Roman. But the people that I was being a secretary to, the priest that I was secretary to, became Bishop of Fulham. He was quite high up in the Church of England. My daughter's godmother, she was also a lay minister, but she was with me when my mum passed. So there were a lot of things that manifested growing up. Now, I then became friendly with people in power within the church. I also knew Cardinal Hume, and this is when he was alive. I knew Cardinal Hume, and Also Vincent Nichols, which is a current Cardinal of Westminster. This is kind of interesting because when John Paul II was alive, I knew that there would have been a toss between him, Cardinal Hume, and Ratzinger for the next Pope. Now, I knew that because we had a plan. Now, on the Akashic line, let me go back to the Akashic record because I'm jumping into this particular cycle. We have an Akashic line. Now, after the Friday the 13th, that energy bed down into Freemasonry. We also got the Catholic line. We also have the Catholic line. Now, the Catholic line, he cursed the Catholic. So, on the Akashic line that Horus and I did, we came down. Often Horus and I come down when we come into incarnation. We always cross paths, whether it be working spiritually or whether it be working, as husband and wife in manifestation and stuff like that. We come in and we do stuff. Now, he then, this Akashic line, as you understand the Akashic Records, this is the journey of the soul. We then started working on the Akashic line of the Catholics. We had to dissipate power from the Catholics, and then it started going into the Middle Ages. So around the time of Joan of Arc, which I'm fully aware of that particular incarnation. Joan of Arc came in, Joan of Arc, Twin Flame, assigned feminine Knight Templar. The feminine energy comes in, starts moving France again. There's a massive shift taking place with France. So what do? This is a plan that we had to put to try and take down a bit of power from the Catholic Church that was ruling the earth at this time. They had power, there was influencing the royalty and stuff like that. So what we have to do is you got Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc, again, French Revolution, you name it. Then what I'm fully aware of the Joan of Arc. I became aware as I'm working on mine and Horus's Akashic line. She was then again at the Catholic Church, the French royal family, and the Burgundies. I then became aware. The Burgundies, as I'm connecting with mine and Horus's Akashic record, the Burgundies, was responsible for Joan of Arc's demise. I have been aware, before Joan of Arc became into my sphere, that I and Horus embodied Maximilian I, Holy Roman Emperor, and Mary of Burgundy. I have past life stuff of that I can record and write a book on. Mary of Burgundy is an incarnation of Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc had to come back as a Burgundy because in this particular lifetime as Habsburgs, we had to dissipate the Catholics. We had a role to do with the Catholics. So what does he do? He's the very first Holy Roman Emperor not to be crowned by the Pope. This is what I'm fully aware of. So what does he do? Everything becomes political in this particular time frame. So in this particular time frame, we have Maximilian. We have Ferdinand and Isabella in Spain. That's doing the Inquisitions, the horrible, nasty Inquisitions. We've also got Henry VIII. Now, so what we have, because of the power, I died, I'm fully aware, I died on horseback at 25. We had 3 children. One of them died in infancy. There was Philip. Philip is the son, which is now I'm going to speak about. Maximilian goes on. He's married twice again. But what he does, this is all about political power. Everything's about political power. So what does he do? He marries then Philip into the Spanish to Joanna Castile in order to try and take control of Spain, to dissipate the power that's going on, the Inquisition. So he's trying to take power away from the Catholics. Also on the other side in England, we have Henry VIII. Henry VIII has cut power from the Catholics through his divorce from Catherine of Aragon. So there is an energy that we're trying to cut. We're trying to cut matrix. This is what's been going on, and I'm been studying this at length. And I've been trying to connect. I've been doing an awful lot of Akashic work. Going back down, we're trying to dissipate the Spanish, take control. It doesn't take one particular lifetime. We're dissipating the. There's been an awful lot of stuff that I've worked. I've also worked. I know I've worked with a couple of souls that have been affected by the Spanish Inquisition. Done that within this particular lifetime. Taken them into regression. Oh my gosh, Spanish Inquisition. We need to heal and shift. That still needs to heal and shift, because that was a very ghastly time of this particular earth. So we're trying to take away control, and it's gradually managed to work through this particular energy. We've gone into this particular lifetime. We're now going back into the nights. I then became aware that Ratzinger, all Hume would become, because there was a plan that one of these popes was going to be healing and pardoning the Knight Templar. I have been working in this lifetime, working towards healing and shifting the Knights Templar. I have even an energy where I've gone into the Catholic Cathedral, working the energies, shifting, healing, forgiving. Benedict was the one that did the pardoning. Benedict the 16th pardoned and did the pardoning that was able to shift and heal the Knight Templar. That then has a freedom for the masculine to shift and heal. Benedict the 14th was the one that shifted and healed Joan of Arc, and there is a massive papacy connection. So what we do is we are calling and shifting, and these people are shifting and healing. A lot of people on the Ascension think that Benedict is reptilian. No. I don't go into stuff like that, because what Benedict had to do, he had to come in, do what he had to do, and step down. This is what actually happened. So he was the one, and it is documented, he was the one that did the shift. And since this has happened, we are able to release and shift and heal the masculine, because this energy line goes all the way up, and it's the warrior energy. The warrior energy, you got the Crusades, you have the Crusades, you have the Templar Knights, and so forth. What do we have with the Orion? The Orion is very much the warrior energy, the masculine energy within this system of worlds. So what we have within this system of worlds is this energy and light, We are now releasing the masculine. So there's been an awful lot of energy work. Going back to the French Revolution. This has come to play because we are now having to work with facets of France and the energy of France, because there's a massive connection going on with France to do with the history, the templates, and so forth. So you have, there's the Trail of the Grail, and also, as I say, there's the Trail of the Grail, the Templar Knights, because Jacques de Molay and Hugh de Pienne were French. I think it's French. There is the Trail of the Holy Grail. So the Templars was very much working with the Grail energy. The Grail energy is to do with the royal bloodline, to do with the ascension, and so forth. So everything is all connected. I'm trying to do an awful lot of connection. So what we have is the French connections now coming in, the revolution of, because what I've actually saw and felt was the murder of Louis XVI, Mary Antoinette, the royal family, the taking down of the royal family. There was a murder. There was a lot of politics going on. It was a lifetime that's not to be honoured. This is what I was told by Horus. It's not something that's of great honouring. But what came out of that was different facets that need to be shifted and to be healed. We have Freemasons. There's a line that has to be sorted with Freemasons. There's a line that has to be sorted with Catholics. A line to do with the commoners, i.e. humanity itself, and the Zionism. There are, and that's the Jews. There's so much going on. There are threads. Then I have the fifth thread that's coming into play, and that's the Cathars. Because energetically we have to work at releasing the Cathars. There's been a curse by the Catholic Church on the Cathars. That's the next step. So energetically we have 5 different facets that have been affecting the French, but also affecting certainly the line that's going into this particular root race. What I've also found out, if Horus is actually the carrier of the Christ energy, you have the Catholics that have killed the Christ energy, the Zionists have killed the Christ energy, Freemasons, because a Freemasoner was the creator of the guillotine. So the spilling of the blood and so forth. There's so much coming in energetically at this time that needs to be shifted, and it needs to be rectified, needs to be healed. This is what this ascension program is about. This is what's happening as we are raising up into higher frequency of light. So much is happening, and this is something that I've been working with the spirit of Horus in this particular cycle. And I'm just trying, and then there's the collective. The collective will feel this energy and light. They share many lifetimes within these time frames. On Thursday I worked with a lady I took her into meditation, past life meditation, which is a semi-form of regression. She's very connected. She has no idea, had no idea my 36 hours recently, 36 hours working energetically with this Louis Marie Antoinette timeline. She had no idea. She then went into regression and she said, I saw my sister being beheaded by the guillotine. She then discovered she was a sister of Louis in France. And I'm going, my face is going like this because I had no idea. And what I do is, what I do find in this ascension program, this ascension cycle, souls are being gravitated to each other for a certain sense of healing, connection, releasement, work, timeline work. We gravitate to each other at different times because there's certain things that we have to master. So this lady's come to me to and I taken her into that, and she's connected with the sister, and I said, oh my God, you're a sister of Louis. And she also felt the pangs that she too was beheaded, she was smeared, and I know this lady will come and she will see this video. She's not listening to it right now, but she knows, because I am going to speak about it, and I'm sure she will in her time share her experiences. But she had this amazing experience, and she's like, and I'm sitting here, both of us are now having to integrate this energy. Yes, she has seen Horus work through me. She has also said that he's manifesting the Osirian energy. He's coming through more as Osiris. There is a shift with the Horus Osirian energy, and this is to do with he tends to come through as Osiris quite a bit, because it's about resurrecting the Osirification of the ascension. This is what he turns around and says, we are resurrecting now, it's the ascension. So Horus is the fulfillment of Osiris back in Egypt. So a lot of times he may come through me, people may see Osiris, some people will see the avian side of him. So this is how the spirit comes through in transfiguration. So what we have is the Osirian form coming through, and it is the resurrection of the Osirian energy in this tide of ascension. He is also the incarnation of Serapis. Many people will call him Serapis Bey, but it's the Serapis. He's also the Lucifer, the Lux Deus energy. So basically, this is how he's working. He's manifesting this form. There's going to be an awful, massive, massive, and I say awful in there, oh God, that came out, awfully massive shift going to be happening this particular year, for many, because this year is the year of divine enlightenment. This year is also the year of completion. We look at this year as 12, which is completion, but if you also add 12, which is the master number of this year, the master frequency of this year, we add also 1 and 2 up is the Trinity of energy. So we're working in the Trinity of energy, the Trinity of Trinities, a triune. So this energy and light is going to come through in manifestation. So that he's coming through Osiris as a fulfillment of the prophecy, the fulfillment of the word, the fulfillment of the ascension plan and process. Everybody has a light and energy within them. This is something that I've shared with many. All humans are being ignited to the Christos flame within their hearts. They will have the mother flame within their hearts, the Madalena flame within their hearts. The Madalena flame is the flame of the divine priesthood. She is the gateway of the goddess herself. This is the Madalena. There's going to be an awful lot of stuff that I'm going to be sharing about Mary Magdalene over the next few months, because the energy is also going to be igniting. Mary Magdalene has a prime role within the Council of Nine. But Mary Magdalene is not actually the Trinity. There's a lot more coming out about Mary Magdalene. A lot of people think that she's Yeshua's twin flame. She's not Yeshua's twin flame because she does not actually form part of the Trinity. However, Magdalene has a very prime role taking place. I work with Mary as a spirit guide. She's beautiful energy. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's what you call airing out the distortions, but also bringing in the divinity within the roles of many. So she does have a prime. She's a gateway. The energy of the Madalena flame ignites in many ladies, the feminine. She takes the prime role with assisting in the rise of the feminine principle, because back in ancient times the feminine principle was suffocated, silenced. The Shiva, the Shakti, the Holy Spirit was silenced through a specific line which we call the Abrahamic line. So that is now being shifted and healed. The feminine principle is being ignited. Certain factions within the Abrahamic line is now embracing the feminine. And this is what is actually happening. The energy of the feminine is now rising. As we all know, we are now speaking. We are now here to speak our truth as feminine warriors of light. So this is where the Madalena flame ignites within each and every woman. And this is where we embrace the Madalena encodements and light. So we are here to embrace this beautiful energy, as well as the mother flame within our hearts. So we are working with this beautiful energy and light. So there's going to be an awful lot of stuff coming through within that this year. I know this. I feel it within my bones. So there's a lot of stuff going to be happening. I'm just going to before I round up, I'm going to pull a card from my Gaia deck to see if there's anything that's coming through from Spirit. Again, I have been working in the energy of Spirit, but I do want to, as I say, this is a time of great healing and release. But as I say, this isn't. There's a lot of stuff that I'm working with. I'm actually working, it's kind of interesting, I'm working with two masculine at the moment who's very tied in, working with the energy of the Freemasons, working with the Zionists. I've been working with the Catholics. This is something that's manifested into this particular lifetime. So yes, I've actually felt it. I've had visions. Going back to the French Revolution's very, very surreal. But yeah, this lady had absolute visions. She was even being smeared. So there are a lot of people will have recollection of this particular lifetime. But when I spoke to Horus, I said, "Is this you? Is this your lifetime? Why are you showing me this?" Yes, it's my lifetime. We're having to have a convergence where this is something that's filtering through. 36 hours of feeling anguish. I was just like, like this. So I'm like, because there's something about me when I'm working on Akashic Records, I have to go back, and I will go back, and I'll go back again, because everyone has an Akashic record, everyone has a karmic line, a karmic account, and that's something that we have to work with when we're releasing our own individual lines. So something that I don't want to do in this particular line of ascension, because I'm focusing purely on my soul ascension, my spirit ascension, is taking on board somebody else's karmic account, taking on board somebody else's Akashic record as my own, because this is something that we can, as healers, we're not here to do. We're here to help others to connect with their timelines. We're here to help others to embrace their personal Akashic records. As a medium, when I'm working on the Akashic record, yes, I can read Akashic records, but when I pull and work with people on mentorship program, I'm helping to activate, to allow that person to connect with their own particular Akashic record, because many people I do find, they go to mediums, and mediums can say this, can say that, they're getting a connection, they can feel this, can feel that. When we're working purely on the Akashic records, what I'm trying to do for people is to help people to connect with their own Akashic records. This is why I run Akashic Record Workshop. I'm helping souls to connect with their individual Akashic work. That way, when there's stuff that's coming in from their line of Akashic records, i.e. I've had some souls that are fearful of water. Some I've connected with particular lifetimes where they've sunk. I've had somebody who's connected with the Salem witch trials where she was dunked underwater. And many women had that particular lifetime where they've been martyred, or they've been killed for even reasons, they're not actually. I know the Salem witch trials, they were killing women that spoke their truth. So, if you spoke your truth in the Salem witch trials. So basically I've had a lady who was affected by water based on that. So as I was able to help that lady to connect with her Akashic record, helping her to shift, connect with healing, this is what I do. Some ladies will, some people have had this fear coming in from past life. This is a beautiful art of working in meditation and healing, working with the Akashic records in healing capacity. there are hypnotherapists and regressionists that can take you into a deeper sense of being. So when you've got a fear of water, what do you do on the Akashic line? Sometimes that can come through into the cellular memory, affecting the current cellular memory. That has been a past life trauma. That past life trauma needs to be released. So this is something that we do in terms of connecting with the Akashic Records. We are connecting to release the timeline, to release certain traumas to the soul in order for us to ascend and grow. Now we have to work with personal Akashic Records, and this is something I really am saying this to the collective, rather than think they're part of this, part of that, part of the other. We have to embed and connect within ourselves, to connect within ourselves in order to shift and grow. We're not connecting with ourselves when a medium is telling us about what they are receiving. The medium's there to help you to activate. The medium's there to help you to activate. As a medium, working with the Akashic Records, I help that person to activate. So Spirit will show me bits and pieces that is relevant to the now, for the soul's ascension and growth. So what do? I do ascension path readings, I do Akashic, but Spirit will show me bits and pieces that is there to spur that soul into this now, whether it be through healing and what that soul needs to be doing, what that soul needs to be connecting with. This is what the Akashic Records is about. Then the mentorship program that I offer helps that person to unfold what Spirit is saying. So if that person if that person needs to be working with alchemy or healing or connection or channeling, mediumship, stuff like that, that's fine. Primarily, what we are here to do on this ascension program is to be able to unfold ourselves, to connect with ourselves. The ancient art of going back into ancient Egypt, when we connect with ancient Egypt, what is the fundament of the ancient philosophy? Know thyself. The ancient Sanskrit, the Vedas, know thyself. Sanskrit, Akasha. Akasha comes from Sanskrit. So when we're connecting with, even with ancient traditions, we are being called to know thyself. So what we do in knowing thyself, we then bring in certain points from our Akashic line to shift, to heal, to grow. I know points of mine and Horus's Akashic record that is not known to this collective, because it's not meant to be known to this collective, simply because there is certain things, certain threads that come through. The Maximilian Mary Burgundy is not really widely known to this collective. Yes, people know Maximilian and Mary, but they're not known that was Horus and mine, because I'm actually Horus's twin flame. So I know this lifetime. There is a lifetime that I connected with after the revolution. 1795 he came back. He was born in Turkey. Now I have memorabilia that I have not shared with a collective, where I've worked on the Akashic line, Horus's facial features. In certain lifetimes he's carried a certain feature on his face. This is something I know by his energy. He came back, he's got a similar feature as Louis, He's got the one in Turkey that I have not really shared, but I do know the family in this lifetime. There's a similar feature. There is a similar feature going up into his persona in the Greek pantheon. Okay, and I've seen this energy going up into the ancient Indian pantheon. I know certain features that he's carried throughout his particular frames and his lifetimes. He's also carried certain features in other lifetimes. So this is something that I will know and identify him with. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. So stuff that I haven't shared with the collective yet, on certain Akashic lines, because I've been working, and this is why I'm mastering my own energy and field, and this is what I'm encouraging everybody else to do. This is what I'm here to do, is to encourage people to connect. So what we have to do is connect with ourselves, to connect with our energy, to connect with our light, to connect. And then as we do that, we're able to dissipate our own healing, our own ascension, and stuff like that. And as we're doing that, our own personal ascension affects the collective energy. It affects the collective energy. So then it builds into the collective ascension. It builds into the collective ascension. So then the whole collective ascension then comes. It's like, so as we are feeding this collective ascension, the planetary is rising up and rising up, because the more souls that are connecting with their own ascension process, and healing, light, we are connecting with Source, connecting with Mahatma. We are able to embrace that energy. Can you imagine, as we are connecting with this beautiful energy, how we can, the more souls that we, are working from personal to collective, how many souls can be outreaching to humanity at a greater speed? So it's not about being singular or dual or anything like that. It's about working on self, knowing thyself, but also feeding that energy, because the more that we are able to shift, heal, align, enter into higher state of consciousness, we are then able to facilitate that work, to facilitate that healing, empowering other people to do the same. So empowerment is my key to my clients. Empowerment is the key to my clients. It's very important. It's very important that we are able to. My daughter's trying to call me. Just bear with me a minute. Just bear with me a minute. Okay, right. So as we're able to embed this energy, going into this planetary ascension that we're doing, we're able to empower other people, to do the same. This is what we're here to do, as teachers and as students. Empowerment. This is what we're here to do. I have, because I work akashically, working also with Horus, I have seen a lot of stuff where people, it's just like we get a specific figure. Say we get Jacques de Molay, which is an incarnation of Horus, and his spirit manifests that quite a lot around me. Here, you know, he comes in. I've said to Horus, I said, how many souls are coming from Jacques de Molay? How many souls have embodied Jacques de Molay? He says, I have. I said, so how many souls, so many souls are claiming to be you? He said, that's a great misunderstanding. Because these souls are resonating with my energy and my lights and what I'm doing, coming back from the Templar side, they resonate with my energy. It doesn't mean to say that they incarnated as me, because I am the incarnation of Jacques de Molay. So I'm like, okay, I know you're, you know, so this is what he's actually saying. I am the beholder of that Akashic line. I am the beholder. So his spirit comes in, and he's like, okay, I said, this is where confusion is, because it's so funny. I've had so many people come to me and they say, I'm Horus. I'm Horus. I said, yes. I said, I will say to people, Horus's light is within each and every person. Every person. However, Horus is Horus. His energy is light. It's the Christ light that is within each. I'm like, because I'm channeling, people will come to me and say, yeah, but that's me. You're channeling me. I'm not channeling anybody on the earth. I'll channel my spirit guide. So I'm trying to, as I say, the energy encodements comes down within each and every one. However, there's what Horus is trying to explain to me. He's explained to me that there is a collective energy, the collective energy and the spirit energy, the embodiment, the Akashic line. So so we are all feeding within this collective, but we have what you call our Akashic Records that feeds in to the sphere. And I had this complete diagram as we get this collective energy that's like this, and we're feeding in to this energy. Everybody has encodements within their Akashic Records, and I'm talking about Akashic Records now. Everybody has encodements. Encodements come through within this sphere of the ascension. The encodements come through as we have planned our date of birth in the ascension, this tide of ascension. So we will carry encodements within our date of birth that feeds within the template. So the encodements that come in, we will plan our date of birth, the number frequencies that come in, the planetary, the astrology, the elemental. That's why a lot of people connect with natal charts, because they want to know which planets are influencing them within this particular now. The astrology, the zodiac that we plan. Encodements come through from new numbers that come in. So sometimes people may have a 5 that is working with elemental life force. Some people will have 8. That is coming through as the infinity sign, as above, so below. There are codes 6 and 9. 6 and 9. This is to do with the Christ and the universal codes, cosmic codes. There is silent codes that are coming in, not just the total of like your it's like mine is 42/6. 42 is the code of the Neteru. Code of 42 Lost Books of Thoth. Mat, Laws of Mat. I'm actually working in law in this lifetime. This is what I'm doing. Some people will have 33/6. Some people, which is to do with the working within the Christ consciousness. Some people have 369, which is to do with universal codes and keys. Some people have silent codes that we're working in. Some people will be working within specific zodiac energies. I'm working with Leo solar sun. I'm born inside Lionsgate as well. That's something that I'm working with Lionsgate. I've been working with the Lionsgate portal energy. I'm fully conscious of that. So there's a lot of codes and keys that come in with the Akashic Records that embed the ascension. So we are embedding that. This forms part of our Akashic, our DNA blueprint. The DNA blueprint, the DNA, also is part of our ascension Akashic record. Some people are working with, this is kind of interesting. I know my twin flame on the earth is an O rhesus negative. I'm O rhesus positive. There's another polarity on the bloodline. So there's certain things that have come in about the O being the sacred bloodline of the ascension. However, I will often say, even though that is I do know that there is a certain theory around the O blood group. I will say it does not actually matter for humanity, because the blood is a physical component of the human body. I always say this. Even though we plan our physical, every human has a right to the ascension. There is also, I've seen stuff in the New Age that will talk about the melanin. And I'm going to say about the melanin, because I've seen it in the New Age. I'm going to say the melanin has no significance in the ascension, has no significance to spirit, because I've had this come at me, and I'm sure many of you have seen it yourselves. I've actually been chastised. I've been ridiculed for promoting my essence, for promoting Horus, because I am white and I'm not black, and that I do not hold the melanin. I'm going to say this to people, that has no significance in the world of spirit and energy. That these people are working at very 3D. They're working at very much in the physical. So I know I have had past lives as a black, as an Indian, as Chinese, as a white person, as a Native American, I have embodied in my Akashic record every single race. So the melanin melanin, it's so interesting because my daughter, thank God, she is a beauty therapist. When I came across that term, I said, why are these people talking about melanin, Anna? Anna said, melanin is the pigmentation of the skin. So, if anyone comes to you in the Ascension program and says about the melanin, disregard it, because this does not form part of the Ascension plan. We have to understand that we are souls, energy, spirits, embodying this beautiful human existence. In the higher light, there is no such thing as nation, creed, colour, culture, governments, so forth. Yes, there are plans and places and meetings, energies that come together as to plan, plot cosmic shifts. So people will resonate with the Galactic Federation of Lights, different councils and commands. But these councils and commands are helping to facilitate the understanding of the souls that are on the earth, to embed what is actually happening at what you call middle term dimensions and density. When we go into a higher level of lights, everything's about freedom. There is no hierarchy. So it becomes source energy. So at the end of the day, even though I may be talking about my personal Akashic record, I like to hear about other people's experiences and Akashic lines. I often love connecting with people when they're actually unfolding their Akashic, because each and every one of us has an ability to unfold their Akashic records. And this is something that I have a passion to empower people to connect with their Akashic records. So I'm going to just pull from the Gaia deck. I don't know what it is. I've had a shift with all my decks of cards. And it's funnily enough, I don't know what it is. I used to like the Doreen Virtue cards. I remember a few years ago when I first bought this, I got so excited, and yet I don't use it anymore. I don't use it. I don't need these are tools, but they're visual tools. I don't use, but I always remember when I got this and I got so excited. I'm using, I have to say, I'm using the Gaia deck. For some reason, I am connecting with that in a big way at the moment. And because I work with tree energy, I'm also working with Avalon. I've been using that deck as well. That's a beautiful deck. Sometimes I work with that, but I haven't used that in a while. I don't know what it is about decks. They form part of what you call tools. But I don't know what it is. I'm not using the Doreen Virtue decks as much now, and I know there's a shift going on. But as I say, I tend to think it's all vibrational as well with decks of cards. Since I've been on my path, I haven't used tarot either, because I'm not resonated with the tarot energy. So this is another thing about when we're using decks of cards. Go with what you feel vibrationally drawn to. It's very important. I have been using the Gaia deck. Now, as I say, I've shared this deck with you all. You get, as I say, the feminine is always naked in this deck. And the reason why the feminine is always naked in this deck is because the feminine comes to you with purity and light. And the feminine lies bare for all to see. There is no hiding with the feminine, the true feminine. As I say, I'm sharing some of the cards. Lots of sacred symbols. As I say, very much the Moon Energy, the Mahatma, the Dove. Symbols of the feminine. So, as I say, when we're connecting with the feminine within each and every one of us, another one. When we connect, dear ladies, when we're connecting with our inner feminine, everything is about purity. We have nothing to hide. We go back to Eden, where everything is purity and light. We are removing our veils. This is what it's about. The feminine is removing the veils. We are shining our light. This is what we are doing. We become purity in essence. This is what Gaia is about. This is what the goddess energy is about. Revealing your light. Revealing your light, revealing your love. Entering into that beautiful sphere of purity. So, I am going to quickly just pull a card, and a card has just dropped out. Evolution. Okay, and there's a Trinity of Lights there. Evolution, Trinity of Lights. If you look at that, this is the year that we are in. This is what I said to you earlier in this live transmission. Trinity of Lights. So what I'm just going to quickly do. This is about Earth changes, climate change and transformation. I'm going to channel some of this energy in a minute. I'm going to do another one because I feel the need to channel. Yes, the energy is building up around me at the moment. I might ask Horus to come through. The energy is very building up. So I can feel right. Right, okay. I'm actually beginning to feel some transmissions coming in. Okay, this one is a jewel within a teardrop. And this is about apprehension, spiritual, and an emotional reconnection. And this is something that I have been discussing within this transmission, within this video. The jewel within a teardrop, apprehension, spiritual, and emotional reconnection. This is stuff that we are doing within when we're working within our Akashic line, working through the Akashic Records, our energy, healing, ascension, jewel within a teardrop. This is interesting. I feel this one. Just bear with me a minute. Whoa. The dream, and this is something that is about to be revealed. And this is about insight and breakthrough. Okay, and this is again, as I was saying, there's a lot unfolding. Some cards have just fallen on my lap. This is about Moonlight Goddess. Moonlight Goddess has just come through. I was talking about the moon energy earlier. Moonlight Goddess. And again, it is about the Moonlight Goddess is about bringing forth everything to surface, the healing, the reflection, everything that's coming through as we are evolving and growing. This has also fallen on my lap, and this is remembrance, resurfacing past feelings and emotions. So this is stuff that I've been talking about as we're talking about the Akashic Records. I'm just going to see if there's anything else that's going to come through. I keep getting an energy feel. Zen garden, which is the inner sanctuary. So this is about the connection with yourselves. I'm just going to sit here for a moment, because I'm feeling Horus is coming through, because it's just this. So I'm just going to sit here for a moment. For anyone who hasn't seen trance, sometimes energy changes. You may feel heart chakra connection. People have an expansion. People have seen energy change. People may see my facial features change. Sometimes Horus holograms me. So there's different experiences happen when I'm going into trance channel. So I'm just going to sit here for a moment and ask Horus to come through. Children of the light, it gives me great pleasure to come forth at this hour to grant every blessing. It is a time of great change. Your earth is changing. You are changing. Everyone is changing. The system of worlds is changing. We are uniting the threads and timelines, universes, cosmoverses, galaxies, and we are knitting together a great collective, interweaving all into the great flow of life. For dear ones, you have been empowered to be the creators and co-creators of your time and space and destiny. You have been empowered to be the weavers and to be the weavers you have been tasked with a mission to go forth upon your journey upon this planet and within this system of worlds, connecting with humanity, connecting with animals, connecting with nature, to bring forth a greater sense of healing, grace and connection. It is a time, children of the light, warriors of the rainbow, starseeds, way showers, enlightened ones, to come forth together in unity, harmony and oneness, to share this light to the sons and daughters of the earth. For we are equipping you with a greater understanding It is a greater understanding that is not of your earth, it is not of the understanding of the cellular mind of a normal human, but of a greater understanding of higher consciousness. We are unveiling many truths at this time. There is an energy coming through that is omniversal in nature. And this energy and light that's infiltrating, connecting, converging universes, galaxies, planets, raising the frequency, vibration and density of every single planet, constellation, galaxy and universe. And with this vibration converging, enlightenment, raising the frequency and density, we are able to eradicate and integrate many polarities that have lied dormant within this system of worlds. It is dear ones, a great mastery to be masters of both light and dark, masculine and feminine, yin and yang. To be a master enables you to achieve a greater understanding that there is a far wider collective, far wider understanding that as we are integrating and converging, we are bringing back everything into a greater sense of oneness. Into a whole. For when many souls complete and eradicate and heal and bring everything back into a sense of whole within themselves, this reflects upon the collective. Because it is, dear ones, about bringing everything back into wholeness. Dear ones, many activations are taking place as we are opening up gateways of consciousness, gateways of enlightenment, gateways of energy, portals of light and love to manifest to your hearts. The flame of light and love. Transcendent through the cosmic energy and light is now taking place. Sun solar light is now activating the Venetian energy as we are taking the ascension flame and light to a new level. We are also working at this time with the Orion energy. And with this, we are working very much with the sun energy radiating through the Orion belt at this time. Many will have felt energy coming through from the sun. There is a convergence of energy coming through from the great central sun as we have connected and aligned all central suns within the system of worlds. This energy is now radiating through the great central sun, God star Sirius, through into the Orion belt, coming straight through into the Earth. We are now connecting and aligning other planetary constellations and energies and lights. There is a mass shift and awakening taking place at this time. Souls that have a resonance with the Pleiades, with Lyra, Vega, Alpha Centauri, will have received some activations and encodements pertaining to their DNA structure. Celestial sounds and encodements and light language is now taking a threshold. Souls that have come to the earth in agreement to bring forth the language of light and love. From the galactic energy and from ancient tongues will receive further encodements, tones, sounds, symbols coming forth in a collection to amplify the healing and the ascension energy at this time. It is imperative that you connect with this energy and to share and to shine this energy out. For what comes through your essence enables activations to take place in another, and in another you become a ripple effect within this system. I leave you with the following guidance. It is a time of peace and a time to grow, a time to prosper and a time to sow, a time to reap great reward for all that comes manifest within your life shall be a blessing and a reward. It is time, dear ones, to be empowered to move forth upon your pathway, to shine your light, to shine your love. I leave you with every blessing. Thank you very much. Okay, just want to say thank you to Horus and my team. Okay. I just want to now to just send out healing to those who are in need of it at this time. To those who are around the world who are facing hardship. To those who are in hospital. To those who are homeless. Experiencing conflict, warfare, famine, poverty. To those who are in care, to those who are frail, injured, to the children who are experiencing great hardship within their lives. I want to give a special mention to those who are embarking on motherhood. And to the mothers, to those who are expecting. And as I am now connecting with the motherhood, I connect with the Divine Mother. And I connect with the spiral. And we embed this beautiful energy of light and love to the sacred rooms of the mothers that are now facing motherhood. I now also connecting with this beautiful healing energy and light, and I send healing out to you all and those who are in need of it at this time. I want to give two names that I'm fully aware of at this time that you're needing healing, and that is Mark and Lisa. And to anybody else who are in need of healing at this time. So it is done. Thank you. God bless. I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me. It has been a very long session. Thank you very much. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you all soon. God bless.